Characters and characterization.
The little girl has a protagonist character, which means she has a spirit and passion personality. This can be shown in the sentence, her little feet she had drawn close up to her. But she grew colder, and to go home she did not venture. For she had not sold any match and could not bring a farthing of money. From her father she would certainly get blows. His father has an antagonist nature because he always hopes for the money from selling this child and doesn't pay attention to the weather or how his child feels. This can be shown in the sentence, from her father she will certainly get blows. So, it can be explained in the sentence that if her child doesn't get money, he can be beaten. Her grandmother had a good attitude toward the little girl. She was very considerate. This can be shown in the sentence, someone just did, said the little girl, because her old grandmother, the only person who ever loved her and no longer exists, had told her that when a star falls, an oil rises to good.
Setting in The Little Match Girl.
The setting and first is location. The story is showing in a corner farm by two houses in first page, sentence 1 in paragraph 5. The time is showing in the last evening, New Year's and New Year's Eve. Okay, and the atmosphere is most terribly cold. It was snow and nearly quite dark, and in this cold and darkness there went along the street a poor little girl.
Plot and conflict in The Little Match Girl.
Plot and conflict. Exposition start with introduce the atmosphere that happened in the story and the condition of the characters in the story. In this cold and darkness there went along the street a poor little girl, barehead and with naked feet. First page. 2. Rising action start of the conflict with no one had bought her matches and she was very cold. 4. She had not sold any matches and could not bring a farthing of money. Second page. 3. Climax. Start with her grandmother appear and she didn't want her grandmother to disappear. Grandmother, cried the little one, oh, take me with you. Third page. Falling action. Start with the grandmother took her hand and they flew into the sky. She took the little maiden on her arm, and born flew in brightness and in joy so high, so very high, and then above was neither cold, hunger nor anxiety, they were with God. Third page. Resolution. Start with the discovery of a dead little girl to death on the last evening of the old year. Third page. Conflict or types of story. Person versus nature. In this cold and darkness there went along the street a poor little girl, barehead and with naked feet. From page 1. So little girl, little maiden walked on with her tiny naked feet that were quite red and blue from cold. Page 1. Person versus person. Her little feet she had drawn close up to her, but she grew cold, and to go home she did not venture, for she had not sold any match and could not bring a farthing of money from her father. She would certainly get blows, and at home it was cold too. Far above her she had only the roof through which the wind whistled, even though the largest cracks were stopped up with straw and rags. From page 1.
POV in The Little Match Girl.
The next material is point of view. The story is narrated from a third-person omniscient perspective. The point of view switches between the narrator, the little girl, and the people who find her body. The author knows the feeling of the character inside the story. For example, it smells so deliciously of fresh goose, for you know it was New Year's Eve. Yes, of the title.
Theme in The Little Match Girl.
There are 4 themes of his story. The first theme is poverty. Poverty is a sharp critical of cultural attitudes toward extreme poverty and inequality during the Industrial Revolution. Using pictures and the opposition, writer contrasts the poverty of a little girl with the surrounding wealth. Naked and barefoot, the girl is slowly succumbing to hypothermia. while people are safe indoors, sheltered by the heat and shine of roasted geese. And then the second theme is cruelty. Cruelty comes from all directions. Her father will beat her if she returns home without having sold any match. Carriers nearly ran her down in the snow. She lost her slipper and no one tries to help her as she freezes to death. Despite these injunctions, the girl remains fearless, never questioning of fighting back or practicing cruelty herself. Her ascendance to the heaven is her means of escape from the cruelty she endures. And the third theme is imagination. Another of the story's major themes is imagination and people's relative capacity to utilize it. The little girl has profound imaginative abilities. With each stroke of a match, she conjures a new vision of the world, food, prosperity, and love she lacks in her material reality. By contrast, when people see her frozen body at the end of the story, the narrator comments that they cannot imagine what was in the girl's mind and heart before she died. All they see is an important child who tried to keep warm as she frozen. And the last theme is afterlife and death. The theme of afterlife and death enters the story when a girl dies and ascended of heaven to be with her deceased grandmother and be with God. Although the girl suffers from hunger, cold, and lack of love on earth, the narrator comments that she wants nothing in heaven. Thus, the story ends with hope. Christian spiritual understanding of life after death prevailed in 19th century Danish culture through a lens that make life after death something real. Writers doesn't present death as something to be feared, but as a liberation from the cruelty of moral existence.
Education values in the Little Match Girl.
The last is education values. The story The Little Match Girl have education values such as empathy and compassion, being sensitive to social inequality, and also learning to be grateful. From the story, sense of empathy from those who are less fortunate and shows compassion for people who are struggling. Next, let's reflect on social inequality and the importance of helping those in need. And also, we must appreciate the comfort and convenience that we have.